Question. Thank you, Senator Miville-Dechêne. You've been a very effective advocate to prevent child labour, and I appreciate the difference you made, the distinction you made in the bill between child labour and forced labour. They're both beasts, but they're beasts of a different kind. And my question is about child labour. When we squeeze the supply chain so that consumers make the call on buying ethical products, the downward impact is on the children in countries who have no other means of survival outside to work in these factories and places. And I know that when that means of employment is removed from them, they will turn to drugs, they will turn to crime, they will turn to prostitution, they may even turn to selling their organs on the free market. I know this, I've seen this. So my question to you is, when this bill goes to committee, can we consider complementing this measure with other measures that speak to development assistance, so that in fact when the kids no longer are able to work, they can be guaranteed education and health?
This is a very good question, Senator Omidvar, because as I've mentioned many times, this bill is only one step in a journey. It is true that a child in a factory somewhere in less rich worlds could feed his or her entire family. A second step that we could perhaps add at committee, or something at least we can think about, are remediation measures. These are measures that compel companies, once the problem comes to light, once we've noted that a child is working, compels a company to simply not fire the child. There's money, compensation given to the child to allow him or her to go to school and to allow the family to continue to subsist. There are many remediation measures available, and that is the key of the matter. The key also is, when these inquiries are instigated, the idea isn't to exclude certain companies from our supply chain immediately, but to give them the opportunity to improve themselves, because we know that to cast aside a company from a supply chain can harm hundreds of jobs for adults and children. Yes, companies must do more. There's also a safety net that we need to do, that we need to enact. Not-for-profits can help, but the solution to put an end to forced labour and child labour is to increase international assistance. Assistance from rich countries like Canada, focusing on education, because education is what can change lives in the medium term. This isolated measure is here to start a journey with companies, but I'm not claiming that this will be the be-all and end-all that will put an end to child labour, because here we're talking about 150 million children who are working, 73 million children who are working in dangerous conditions, difficult conditions. Not all of them are working in forced labour. That's why we have the distinction. It's a lot of children, nonetheless.